In this video we are going to talk about top 10 facts about Taiwan-China conflict. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Taiwan is an island separated from China by the Taiwan Strait. It's been independent from mainland China, the PRC, since 1949. The PRC considers Taiwan as a renegade province and promises to unify it. Taiwan's democratically elected authorities disagree on the island's status and relations with the mainland. Cross-strait tensions have risen since Tsai Ing 2016 wins victory. Tsai has refused to adopt a cross-strait formula proposed by Ma Ying-jeou. Beijing has become more aggressive, flying fighter jets near the island. Analysts believe a Chinese attack on Taiwan may drive the US into war with China. Here are 10 Taiwan-China conflict facts. Number 10. Is Taiwan part of China? Beijing says there's one China and Taiwan is part of it. It regards the PRC as China's only legitimate government and desires Taiwan's unification with the mainland. Beijing claims Taiwan is bound by the 1992 consensus, signed between CCP and KMT representatives. The two sides disagree on the content of this so-called accord, which never addressed Taiwan's legal position. For the PRC, the 1992 consensus states that the two sides of the strait belong to one China and would seek national reunification. For the KMT, one China, diverse interpretations means the ROC. China, Mongolia, Taiwan, Tibet, and the South China Sea are all recognized by Taiwan's KMT-drafted constitution. KMT opposes Taiwan's independence and wants tighter relations with Beijing. KMT leaders have explored changing the party's stance on the 1992 consensus after successive electoral setbacks. She repeated China's long-standing plan for Taiwan, one country, two systems. This is the same formula used for Hong Kong, which was given political and economic autonomy. Taiwanese dislike this structure. Tsai and even the KMT have rejected the one country, two systems paradigm. Number 9. Is Taiwan a member of the United Nations? No. China condemns Taiwan's membership in UN bodies and other organizations with state-only membership. Taipei laments its absence from such organizations, and the US does too. Taiwan is a member of more than 40 organizations, most of them regional, including the World Trade Organization and the Asian Development Bank. It's an observer or member of other groups. Taiwan has 14 diplomatic partners. No government has ever had diplomatic connections with China and Taiwan. Number 8. What is the United States' relationship with Taiwan? The US and PRC established diplomatic ties in 1979. It also terminated diplomatic ties and canceled a mutual defense treaty with the ROC. The US maintains an unofficial relationship with the island and sells military supplies. Beijing has urged Washington to stop arming and contacting Taipei. The major objective of the United States is to keep the Taiwan Strait peaceful and stable, and it has pleaded with both Beijing and Taipei to keep things as they are. It declares that it opposes Taiwanese independence. The United States has spent decades trying to balance assisting Taiwan while averting confrontation with China through its strategy of strategic ambiguity. However, President Joe Biden appears to have rejected the approach, repeatedly asserting that the United States would defend Taiwan if China invaded. Although White House officials have retracted his remarks and stated that the policy has not changed, the president ultimately has the last decision in how to proceed. Biden's remarks have been well received by certain experts, including Richard Haass and David Sachs of the CFR, as well as a number of members of Congress, who claim that China's escalating aggression demands clarification. This opinion has been challenged by other specialists. Number 7. How have recent U.S. administrations approached Taiwan? Under President Trump, the U.S. strengthened ties with Taiwan against Chinese concerns, selling $18 billion in armaments to the military and constructing a $250 million de facto embassy in Taipei. Trump called Tsai before his inauguration, their first call since 1979. During his last days in office, the State Department removed long-held limitations on where and how U.S. officials can meet with Taiwanese colleagues. The Biden administration continued military sales and affirmed the Trump government's decision to allow additional U.S.-Taiwanese meetings. Biden invited Taiwanese representatives to his inauguration. The U.S. regularly sails ships through the Taiwan Strait to demonstrate its military presence in the region and has encouraged Taiwan to raise its defense budget. Number 6. Could war erupt over Taiwan? China's expanding military capability and assertiveness, along with deteriorating cross-strait relations, worry U.S. observers. This might lead to a U.S.-China clash. China hasn't ruled out using force to reunify Taiwan, and the U.S. hasn't ruled out defending Taiwan if China attacks. The U.S. Department of Defense warned in a 2021 assessment that China's PLA is likely preparing for a contingency to integrate Taiwan with the PRC by force, while deterring, delaying, or refusing any third-party intervention, such as the U.S. Experts disagree on a Chinese invasion's likelihood and timing. In 2021, the top U.S. military commander in the Indo-Pacific warned that China could invade Taiwan within a decade. Others believe 2049 is a significant date. She has stressed that unification with Taiwan is essential to attaining the Chinese dream, which envisions China's great power status restored by 2049. Number 5. How has China tried to intimidate Taiwan? China has increased its coercive efforts after Tsai's 2016 election. Its goal is to wear down Taiwan and convince its people to unify with China. China has expanded PLA bomber, fighter jet, and spy aircraft patrols over and surrounding Taiwan. It has also sent warships and aircraft carriers via the Taiwan Strait. Taiwan reports daily cyber attacks from China. In recent years, attacks have risen. Taipei accused 4 Chinese groups of hacking 10 government agencies and 6,000 official email accounts since 2018 to access government data and personal information. Number 4. Has Beijing undermined Taiwan's democracy? China has also increased election influence in Taiwan. It spreads falsehoods online and controls Taiwanese media outlets. In 2020, China propagated disinformation to hurt Tsai and help the KMT's candidate. China uses coercion to weaken trust in Taiwan's political system and promote splits in Taiwanese society. Experts perceive the DPP's recent electoral achievements, including Tsai's 2020 re-election, as a rebuke to Beijing. Number 3. Do Taiwanese people support independence? Taiwanese favor the status quo. National Chengchi University polls show few support immediate independence. Fewer support Taiwan's unification with China. As Beijing presses down on Hong Kong's freedoms, a majority rejects one nation, two systems. More Taiwanese feel closer to Taiwan than the mainland. National Chengchi University concluded that 62% of island residents considered themselves exclusively Taiwanese in 2021. 32% were both Taiwanese and Chinese, down from 40% a decade earlier. Only 3% identify as only Chinese, down from 26% in 1994. Number 2. What is Taiwan's economic situation? Taiwan's economy depends on China, its greatest commercial partner. In recent years, their economic relationship has been disrupted by Beijing's pressure on Taiwan and Taiwanese politicians' concerns over reliance on China. Under President Ma, Taiwan negotiated more than 20 pacts with the PRC, including the 2010 Cross-Straits Economic Cooperation Framework Agreement, which lifted trade obstacles. China and Taiwan re-established decades-old sea, air, and letter relations. They decided to let banks, insurers, and other financial firms operate in both markets. Tsai and the DPP tried to diversify Taiwan's trade, with mixed success. Tsai's new southbound policy has boosted commerce and investment in Southeast Asia and the Indo-Pacific. Taiwan's trade with the 18 targeted countries climbed by $50 billion between 2016 and 2021. Taiwanese investment in certain countries has risen. Tsai proposed a 3-year strategy in 2019 to encourage Taiwanese firms to return home. Taiwan's exports to China soared in 2021. Beijing pressured countries not to sign FTAs with Taiwan. Only New Zealand and Singapore have inked free trade pacts with the island. Beijing has lobbied for Taiwan's exclusion from multilateral trading blocs, including CPTPP and RCEP. China joins RCEP but not CPTPP. Taiwan isn't in the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework either. Number 1. Have cross-strait tensions hurt Taiwan's vital semiconductor chip manufacturers? Taiwan's semiconductor industry is flourishing despite cross-strait concerns. These chips are found in cell phones, computers, cars, and AI-based weapons systems. Taiwanese companies accounted for more than 60% of semiconductor contract makers' 2020 revenue. TSMC, the world's largest contract chip producer, is Apple's and other US corporations' main supplier. It's one of two firms in the world, the other being Samsung, that can build the smallest, most advanced chips, and it makes 90% of them. Some observers say the US reliance on Taiwanese semiconductor makers increases its motivation to defend Taiwan against a Chinese attack. In 2022, Congress passed a $280 billion plan to bolster the US chip sector at Biden's urging. China uses Taiwanese chips, but less than the US. Beijing is attempting to expand its sector because Washington has urged TSMC to cease selling to Chinese businesses, including Huawei, which Washington claims Beijing may use for espionage. What do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.